That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. What the fuck are we gonna podcast now? What are we gonna do? Because Aliens is coming up next.
Haven't Seen It with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevene. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time. I've seen this movie, Tommy. You've
I've
seen
seen
this
this
movie.
movie a
Ta-
lot.
you have seen this movie a lot, but who has not seen this movie is our very special guest today, Mr. Ryan Davey, aka Curse of Tongues. You can find him on Instagram and I believe at TikTok at Curse of Tongues. You can find his music there as well. He also produced our lovely intro music many moons ago when we were starting up this podcast. Mr. Ryan Davey, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, guys. Always an absolute pleasure to be speaking with you.
So for you going into Aliens, let's just get some general thoughts, feelings, like what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I held off from watching this a long time because I thought it was just like another one of those 70s horror movies that they kind of just like printed out a million sequels of that just all sucked. But yeah, I don't know. You guys encouraged me that Aliens was one of the good ones.
I remember like in a
As
group chat telling you like, dude, like Aliens is like the one of the best sequels ever. You gotta fucking see it.
Yeah, and I mean, I looked it up also. Like, I don't know, Tommy, I feel like I kind of take your recommendations with a grain of salt when it comes to like horror films sometimes,
So like it's
because
like, have I steered you wrong though? Have I told you like a movie's good or bad?
you haven't steered me wrong in terms of things that I've actually watched, but like you've said stuff like, oh yeah, Freddy Dream Warriors is like one of my favorites or something, and
Oh,
I'm
that's a fun
still
ass
holding
movie.
off on that one. But
It's a
yeah, I
fun
don't know.
movie.
I was really
Yeah.
excited to watch it because I did like Alien a lot. And I'd say that my expectations for this one was a little bit different than what I actually ended up getting because this one is 100% more of an action film, whereas
hmm
Alien was way more of a horror film.
That's
And like,
pretty much a pure sci-fi horror. This is like sci-fi action with like a mix of horror in it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like most of the horror scenes, like they had some scary scenes, I guess, but like they didn't really build tension in the way that like horror movies normally build tension. And like I also would maybe admit that I might be a little desensitized to that because it's October. Like I've been just watching nothing but
Yeah.
horror the last month. So yeah,
You're
Zach
getting
Kreger
plenty on
has
the
ruined me
eyeballs.
with his build-ups and stuff. Um
Yeah. No, it is
but
funny that the first movie we're covering after our horror movie season is essentially another horror, action horror, you could say. But still.
yeah.
But it's like action sci-fi. I
Yeah.
feel like it's environmentally horror with that
Mhm.
sci-fi aesthetic mix there. I think the tension is like very classic action tension with like a
Yes.
mix of horror kind of thrown into there, but it's not as reliant on the shadows, if you will, in terms of like horror. It's a lot more straightforward and that like mist because like if you've
Well,
seen Alien, you understand the mythos of these creatures, like everything about them. So now
Yeah.
it's just you're stuck on a planet with a lot of them.
well,
Yeah, I guess the one
also,
que yeah, Tommy.
also in terms of like sequels, like usually when you have a sequel, it goes into like the same old thing where it's just like, okay, now he fights another person, or now there's like another alien that she has to fight or something like that. Instead of this one, it just maximizes the concept. It's like, okay, what if we just make this into an insane action movie that it could be, and it works. Sometimes you could see that and it just like fails, like when they did Megan 2.0 recently. But this one just fucking hits. It's somehow just as good as an action movie as the first one's a horror movie.
Yeah, so
I
this
think I
is
agree completely with that, except for the fact that like I think the first one kind of did things that hadn't been done before. Was this
Hmm.
innovating as much? I don't know. Like, I feel like this is definitely
This
a new take on action movies in that it is totally a darker world than what I've seen in that genre before, like in the 80s. But like, I don't know that it's doing as,
For action, I would say so up until that point, in that
yeah.
it I feel like you can feel the roots of like the filming of Die Hard and that kind of action being progressed from there, and like Lethal Weapon, like those all kind of like merged together and moved forward into the action that we love from the 90s, and then taking it on from there. But I would say it's like Aliens, Die Hard, and then maybe the next really big step was The Matrix in terms of action movies.
mm,
And I
Am I
mean, The
missing
Matrix is
something here?
that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I feel like there's such a huge gap between like those
I
movies stylistically and just like in I don't know, in so many
I
ways,
think
I think.
Speed
I
might
don't
have been
know.
another one that was like up there.
Yeah,
Like
Speed?
Speed is, you've never seen Speed?
No, no.
Oh, you're an
oh,
LA boy now. You have to watch Speed.
Speed
Okay.
is a great LA movie.
Speed is one of the all-time LA movies.
Yeah. Here, David, this is supposed to be on the podcast. We haven't been to the place you are, but we know all the great movies about it.
I've been to
Yeah.
LA. I've been to LA. I've just
I
never
mean, I've been
lived
to LA,
there.
but I've been to LA when I was a kid, though, so it doesn't really
I've
count.
been when I was an adult.
Dude,
But
you guys got to come visit. I feel like just being in the places that I've seen in my favorite films has been crazy. Like Halloween, I went to the Troubadour, which obviously is in like a million different movies. Rocket
mhm.
Man, because apparently they have barely changed the layout of the main room since the 70s. So like, they're still gonna film all those scenes there.
That's
Probably a
amazing.
big reason why they keep it that way.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but all right, well, let's kick it off with some movies we've all seen recently. We are recording this a few days after spooky season, so I feel like these recommendations might all still be Halloween related, but maybe some last minute horror before you flick over to the Hallmark Channel and watch some schmaltzy movies, really get into that cozy season. I know that's what Tommy's going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Ryan, is that what you're going to do?
Most likely.
Most likely, definitely. Tommy, why don't you kick us off? What's a movie you watched recently?
Okay, so have you guys ever heard of the movie Fear from the 90s?
Yes.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Okay, so I watched Fear. This is the first time I've watched this all the way through. For those of you who don't know, Fear was a movie from 1996 that was Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon, where basically Mark Wahlberg is this like fucking bad boy that Reese Witherspoon meets when she's in high school, and she starts dating him, and he turns out to be just a fucking like turn the screw, like more and more of like a fucking psychopath, sociopath, and things go wrong, and he like pretty much cucks the dad, William Peterson. It is so fucking entertaining. I've been thinking about this movie ever since I saw it like 2 or 3 days ago. It's just one of those movies that like there's fucking insane scenes in this goddamn movie where like there's a slow fucking cover of Wild Horses while Reese Witherspoon's getting fucking finger banged on a roller coaster by Mark Wahlberg. It's like what am I watching right now? And then
The horny
also it's just
90s.
yeah, the horny 90s. We don't have the erotic thrillers of the 90s like we used to. Um, but also just the whole entire movie is just like the whole entire like yuppie nightmare thing. I've been talking about this type of genre a lot lately because it's just so entertaining watching like rich people go through fucking terrible murderous shit. Where it's just like, oh, there's the one friend who like believes him, but then like gets taken out. It's all the tropes, but it just hits so well. And this movie is incredible. The fact that this is from the 90s, yet both those stars are still like A-listers where the director of that movie said it's the only movie of his. He directed Glengarry Glen Ross, and then he directs Fear, and he says Fear's the only movie he directed that the residuals have gone up over the years, just because those two stars are just hitting over and over again. It's a movie I'd probably love to cover on the podcast because it is fucking hilarious.
I definitely want to watch Fear. We could definitely cover that at some point.
You had me at horny 90s. Like, I don't know, it's making me think of like all those like
Like
what was
Basic
that one like
Instinct,
Cruel Intentions and stuff? Like
Cruel
that's got to be the
Intentions,
horniest
also.
movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Filmed in our hometown of Rye, New York.
You're
Oh,
kidding me.
what?
Wasn't Cruel Intentions, or is that which one is the one where they go to the
Fatal.
Fatal
No,
Attraction?
Fatal Attraction's the
Oh.
one filmed in Rye.
Okay,
Um,
I had Cruel Intentions and Fatal Attractions mixed up.
But yeah, there's a scene in Fear where basically Mark Wahlberg like cucks the dad and just like starts flirting with his wife and just looks him in the eye, and then kisses Reese Witherspoon and stares down William Peterson in the eye, just being like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?" It's insane. It's amazing. It's really entertaining. Again, this is Fear. Check it out.
Listen, if he was on that flight from Boston, it wouldn't have gone down like that. That's all I'm going to say about Mark Wahlberg. Uh,
National treasure.
national treasure, except for the Vietnamese and Vietnamese Americans. They do not care for him
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
Ryan, is there a movie that you got to go see recently?
Yeah, dude. I got to see Frankenstein. So definitely within that spooky season realm. And it was freaking awesome.
I saw it
Like
too.
normally, so it's 2.5 hours long, and normally I can't even sit down for that long. So beforehand, I was like, we got to walk around the block a couple times. But it actually ended up flying by, and I honestly loved everything about it. The cast is amazing. I want to see Jacob Elordi and Mia Goth both be like in the new crop of actors that Guillermo del Toro works with, like on a
Mhm.
standing basis and stuff. They build this amazing, cool, unique world. And I don't know, yeah, like it was really sick. I feel like I almost was expecting it to be more of like an over the top horror thing, like the old Frankenstein's like it's alive with like Igor and all that.
Mhm.
But it wasn't. They kept it like more of a drama, which I think is what the book like may have intended it to be. Like I definitely didn't read the book, but made me want to. And yeah, I mean, like, I would definitely recommend going to see it for sure. Kind of
Yeah.
shocked that they decided to make it an R-rated film. I feel like they could have easily avoided that. Like, the
Well, it
storytelling. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
this is like a Netflix original, so for Netflix, they don't give a shit. It's not like they're gonna play us in theaters for the most part. I got to see this too. I liked it, but it definitely felt like I don't know. Maybe I was expecting more of the horror version, but like I felt like a couple bits of pieces could have been like cut out. Definitely.
Yeah, dude, I feel like that's Guillermo del Toro though. Like I feel like he likes covering a lot of ground with his storytelling style. And certain time like with Pinocchio, there was some stuff that I was like, this is just not even relevant at this point. Like why are we throwing in like
Yeah.
Mussolini and stuff? But like this, I don't know. I didn't feel like that with
I didn't
Frankenstein. Like
see his
Well,
Pinocchio. Mussolini's in this?
yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude.
it's not like a
Uh
Disney version of Pinocchio. It's a
I
complete.
figured, but
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't exactly expecting Benito Mussolini
yeah.
because I'm pretty sure the story of Pinocchio predates the fascist party in Italy by
Yeah.
many years.
It definitely does. Yeah, but I don't know, like he likes throwing in like anti-war and anti-fascism themes. Like this like Frankenstein obviously like had that too. Like there was a war going on in the background that I would imagine Marie Shelley did not have in her book. But
Mhm.
like it didn't I don't know, it didn't feel contrived with Frankenstein the way it did with Pinocchio and some of his other films that I've seen, which I also
Yeah.
love to be fair, but
Yeah, no, I know,
um
I know you mean. I think that like, well, my girlfriend said that Frankenstein apparently like was like the new one was very close to the novel, like the closest she's seen.
okay.
Um, but I think I'm beginning to realize like more and more that like Guillermo del Toro is just not one of my guys. I love him as like a person, but like I don't think I've ever been like hooked on one of his movies where like I need to watch it over and over and over again. Blade 2 actually is fucking sick. Um,
He did
but
Blade 2.
yeah, he did Blade 2.
That's random. I
That
think I
Yeah.
only
is
saw the first one. I love the first one, but
The
second
second
one,
one's the second one's insane.
yeah,
Basically, like vampire creatures hunt other vampires. There's like new Australian vampires that feed on vampires. It's like an ultra vampire, and but regardless, like yeah, I think Nightmare Alley was good, but like the Frankenstein, there's just some parts like I liked it overall, but I was like maybe you could cut out a little bit of this. Like it's not like the worst thing in the world if you cut this. He doesn't. It didn't feel like a movie that needed to be 2 hours and 30 minutes.
I kind of disagree with that, but I definitely agree with like what I wanted a little more of the like over the top Halloween horror, like
Well, I was okay if
stylized.
I was okay about that, but it was just like overall, it felt like okay, like I don't need to see every single waking moment of this guy's life.
Dude, but he had
Yeah,
such a short life. He like, you know.
I've never thought I would live to see the day that Ryan Davey says, "Yeah, I didn't need, I actually don't think the 2.5 hour movie needed to be shorter." I am very surprised by that.
Yes, exactly. And that's why like I led with It Flew By. Like that is shocking. I'm sure a lot of people would be shocked to hear that if they know me. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I thought he did a really good job with it. Like I think I probably liked it more than you, Tommy, I would imagine. But
Yeah, yeah. For me, it was like
yeah,
a 3.5 out of 5. Like solid, but not like amazing.
I don't want to say 5, but definitely more than 4. Like I don't know, is
Four
it
and a half.
4.5? Yeah, we could go 4.5. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I have to see this movie um on Halloween this year. Uh every year the past 2 years, my girlfriend and I have gone to the Franklin Theater in beautiful Franklin, Tennessee.
Oh
And
yeah.
they have shown Psycho there the past 2 years on Halloween. This
Fuck
year they
yeah.
did not show Psycho, they showed The Exorcist,
Oh, nice one.
Nice.
which was amazing to see in theaters. It was the extended cut, which was a little bit annoying because it's still great, but it's just there's just little added
Well,
stuff in there where I'm just like,
well,
oh, you had that pacing down so beautifully.
well.
Yeah.
Also, the extended cut has like the spider walk scene, so like that rocks.
That does rock. The spider walk scene is pretty great.
Yeah.
I like was kind of debating about the spider walk though. Like it's a really cool visual, but also I like that the original is pretty much like like a horror drama of you not knowing how to fix your daughter and
Mm.
going to every extreme. You're not a religious person. You turn to the church and they're just like, exorcism. I mean, I guess we do that, but we don't do that. And like having all of those takes kind of coming through, and it's just this, and then it's this building burst of tension that then explodes once the priests go in and start doing the exorcism. Like we get some of the effects with like the room getting thrown around and stuff, but none of Reagan being weird. So I feel like it's a really cool sequence. It's a really cool scene. It's very quick too. It's like 2 seconds maybe of her doing the spider walk. But I also my movie brain comparing it to the original Exorcist or like the theatrical cut of The Exorcist, I was like, oh, it's really cool. I really like that as like a DVD menu option
Yeah, yeah.
of being able to watch that scene versus
I
like in the theater. I wish it was just the theatrical experience.
I think that majority of the time the theatrical cut is the better cut. There's
I
some
agree.
exceptions, but
Is
it
there?
really, yeah. I mean, I've always heard like the gold standards like Kingdom of Heaven, and for me personally, I love the fucking like Apatow extended cuts where it's just like more and more riffing. Just give me more of that shit. Just more jokes. I'm all about like the knocked up director's cut, but that's something different. Um, but like overall, like a lot of the extended cuts just like ruin the pacing or just like
Yeah,
make it slower and everything
it,
like that. And
it's my biggest argument against Lord of the Ring heads when they're like, "Oh, you have to watch the extended cut." You mean the one that's an hour longer? It
Yeah,
just
dude.
slows the movie down to a crawl. Like these movies are 3 hours long each, and
yeah, it's like
they're paced really well for 3 hour long movies. The extended cuts are not well paced at
well, I
all.
guess the one exception I could think of, but even I don't still think this is a great movie.
So we were talking extended cuts of movies there. We got a little internet interruption there. But Exorcist, great movie. Great movie. And now we're covering another great movie. This is Aliens.
You're going out there to destroy them.
That's the plan.
All right, I'm in.
The first time she survived the most terrifying creature in the universe, she thought the nightmare was over.
Something under the floor.
It hadn't even begun.
Coming straight for us.
That's inside the room.
Sigourney Weaver, Aliens, the new movie. This time, it's war rated R.
Aliens, the 1986 science fiction action film written and directed by James Cameron. It is the sequel to the 1979 science fiction horror film Alien, and the second film in the Aliens franchise. Set in the far future, it stars Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley, the sole survivor of an alien attack on her ship. When communications are lost with a human colony on the moon where her first crew encountered the alien creatures, Ripley agrees to return to the site with a unit of colonial marines to investigate. Michael Biehn, Paul Reiser, Lance Henriksen, and Carrie Henn are featured in supporting roles. Um,
All right, so first of all, this movie has like one of the greatest pitch stories ever. Davey, have you heard of the aliens pitch story or Tim?
No, no,
Okay,
please tell.
so apparently, like after some like script stuff and everything like that, they're going through it. So it comes time for pitch time, and James Cameron, the rumor goes that he goes to a fucking executive board meeting. He walks in, he goes up to the whiteboard, he writes alien. I'm like, all right, yeah, we all know what alien is. Then he writes an S. I'm like, oh shit, aliens. And then he puts a dollar sign over the S right there. And they're like, "Oh, let's go! Yeah, we got this!" Right there, incredible pitch, just like what a salesman James Cameron is, right there.
That feels like a
I
South Park
love
pitch.
that.
It feels
Yeah.
Yeah,
like a South Park pitch, doesn't it? Like that's something
yeah,
that
yeah.
like the adults of South Park would lose their mind over.
Mhm.
Adam Sandler falls in love with a girl, but she's actually like a golden retriever or something.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, no, literally, but it's incredible because like what a pitch right there, and it gets you get going. Like, okay, yeah, let's do this. This movie to start off, this is James Cameron's really breakout point at this point. The Terminator ended up becoming his fucking calling card. So he did the Terminator. There's a break in action during Terminator where Schwarzenegger had to go film Conan the Destroyer. So like they paused production for like 7 months or something like that in Terminator. And during that time, Cameron just worked on the script, like tailored it and everything, just to make the script for Aliens like fucking perfect. And because he really thought the Terminator wasn't going to be a hit or anything like that, and he's like, all right, Aliens wasn't going to be working on. So he just kept on working and working and working, and then he came to it. And this movie, what a blast! I'm so glad we're finally fucking covering an Alien, Aliens rather.
Yeah, Aliens is it's it's quite different from the original.
It's so different. It's a
Yeah.
different style of movie. Like I would say it's not a horror movie at all, to be honest. Whereas the first one is
It's
definitely a horror movie, like the way they build it.
it has horror paint on it, and there's
Yes.
some like I would say the one true horror scene in this is when Ripley and the girl are lying down in the bed, and
Okay.
the alien that the little like hand-shaped alien comes out and is going around there. That Paul Reiser's character was trying to trap them so that way they could get into the hibernation space and bring an alien sample back. And like that's the one scene in the movie where you not quite sure what's going to happen, and she's like waving at the camera, and we watch Paul Reiser's character just turn the button off on the camera, seeing the action there, and you're just like, okay, how are they going to get out of this situation? Because there's no weapons in there. They're just completely stuck. And it's scary. Like that is a truly scary moment. And it's Ripley's smarts of just let's blast the fire alarm. Like that's
Yeah.
gonna get somebody's attention that got
Uh,
them
I
down there.
I remember Tarantino saying that that was like a scene that like the crowd when you saw that was like one of the most like wild moments where everyone's like, "Holy shit!" Because it's just such a great like release, and it feels like something that movies have been copying. Where like you can see the DNA of like the Jurassic Park like raptor scene in that.
1000%. It
Yes,
reminded me
100%.
so much of
Which
that,
is so
dude.
funny because that's the last movie we had you on for. So
Yeah, very true, very
we
true.
gotta find another kitchen attack scene,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then we'll
yeah,
invite you
yeah.
on.
That's
Yeah,
that's my genre specialty, my micro
yeah, yeah.
genre specialty.
Oh,
That
Davey, you haven't
that
seen
is
the
that's a very
menu?
LA that's a very LA line. Oh, so what do you do? I'm actually a podcast guest appearance host. Oh, what do you specialize in? Kitchen horror scenes.
Kitchen
That's
horror scene.
kitchen horror scenes. That's
Well,
my
that sounds like a
bread and
movie
butter.
roulette character, right? Or category
Or
right
yeah,
there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a
that
great
is
Kitchen
roulette
horror
that's a
category.
scene.
creative one because you could throw
Um,
Scream in there.
Yeah,
you do hand the rocks to cradle.
I don't know
There's a
what that
lot.
is.
There's a lot of.
Yeah.
I feel like every like you could do Halloween. You could do so many movies that just feature a scene in the kitchen where there's something going on. It,
Gremlins. Gremlins is an all-timer
Gremlins.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of movies you could do with that.
kitchen horror.
Kitchen horror. I'm gonna go on that tangent.
Kitschy horror? No, no, no. Kitchen horror. Kitschy
Yeah,
horror is
kitchen.
way below my pay
So
grade.
Sitting there
I
with your
do.
$30 mocha from Erewhon, just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So I think in terms of sequels, like this, just like immediately like gets you right in to a movie where like I just love how they wake her up and like, hey, this happened like 60 years ago. We talked
Yes.
we were talking about director's cuts earlier. Aliens is a movie that I've seen director's cut. It has some good emotional scenes, but it just bogs it down because you don't really think about this with this movie, but it kind of is a little bit of a slow burn for the first hour. Um,
Oh
I
yeah,
I paused it. I paused it directly when the first alien attack happens, which is when like the one person that lived on LV-426, like their chest bursts open, and then all of a sudden the aliens start coming out. I paused right there. That was an hour into the movie, and somehow like they make that whole hour really, really tense the whole time because you always hear like the beeping radar over and over and over again.
I
Um,
was gonna bring up the beeping radar because I think
yeah,
that really is the one element of like true horror that is present in this, like the way that
the
that
sound.
ominous beeping just gets faster and faster, and they can't see it at all. They just hear that it's getting closer. They don't know how many. They're just like, oh my God. And
yeah.
I think that the clicking of that machine is like the most, I would say, innovative thing about this movie, like that really built the tension really well for me.
Well,
I
the sound design in general in this movie is insane because like also when you have the later on scene where Ripley is going through to try and save Newt and like going down the elevator and you hear like the sound of like the um machine like saying like okay like 5 minutes until self-destruction or something like that over and over and over again and just the alarm sound over and over again. It gets you so freaked out and so tense right in the
Yeah.
middle of it. I think that Cameron just like is a master of doing shit like that in movies.
I mean, this is so influential. I was thinking on 2000s video games specifically, but
Oh
like
yeah, this is Halo.
this is Halo.
Like Sergeant
Okay.
Johnson. Remember Sergeant Johnson in
Yeah,
Smoking the
the
cigars,
cigar.
like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
the black guy in
that's
Halo.
as soon as he wakes
that's
up, he's just like cigar in the mouth.
I
Like
love that
instantly,
immediately.
like lies up, and he's just like, all right, like let's get a
Yeah.
cigar going in here.
Keep
Um,
playing that right ahead where like it'd be like a bong for
was
me or something
thinking
like that.
Dead Space, like anything that takes place on a spaceship with an alien attack in the 2000s is strictly just using aliens and
Especially if it's an
alien
action movie. Yeah.
or an action game. Yeah, they're just using this blueprint here. Like I was sitting there watching this and I didn't piece this together the first time, or maybe I did. It's been a couple of years, but I was watching it. I was just like, this is Halo. Like this is just the game Halo. It is.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
pretty
straight.
sure like Halo also calls it a bug hunt, just like the Marines do right when they're getting briefed on the mission.
Yeah. Well, I think also in terms of like influence, the production design and also the costume design in this movie. Cameron's talking about like in a special one of the special features things where he was saying like how like, he didn't want to do the Star Wars thing of like, oh, all white armor or something. So he wanted to be like, yeah, fuck it. Like in the military, like they would still have camo. They would still have winter camo. They'd still have fall camo. They still have all this stuff. So why don't we just make it just look like slightly like geared up, but like still the same old thing. And that's so influential right there. Where you just see normal like Marine camo gear in this, and just awesome like stuff. Where they let the cast direct or like put shit on their own gear just to make it more personal and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah, I think a
awesome.
lot of that, like the Marines in general, made it almost feel like a Vietnam movie. Like the way, yeah, you're talking about they kind of personalize their own gear. Also, the way that they like speak to each other, where like even though they know they're about to die, everything is still like a joke. Especially like the uh the sergeant who's like he's like, I love the Marines. Every meal is a banquet. Every check is a
Oh,
fortune. Like so
Oh,
what
it's
a
good.
so
great
beautiful.
if we have to go like based on like best heat check performance, that's right there. Al Matthews is his name. Apone. It's just like what you want out of like your sergeant in like a fucking movie like this.
It there and also like I think Predator came after this, right? Like so much of Predator, that beginning sequence is just like the beginning of Aliens, just
Oh yeah.
completely borrowed. Um, like the way that they get the chemistry there. And I'm trying to remember from Alien, where Alien, it's a lot more like camaraderie and a little bit more like character depth. I feel like the only character depth they really focus on here is Ripley and her trauma from the first experience and then having to go back into that. Like she's the only one with experience with these creatures.
Hmm.
I wanted to talk about that for like that one of those really early scenes where she's in the board meeting and explaining
Oh
the alien attacks and all these shareholders that are she's 70 years older than these people now, and they are all like pissed off at her for like losing money like 70 years ago and just like I don't really think this happened here. And it's kind of crazy. I really like that scene. It's just a good way for her character to show her frustration with the situation with the company that she's with.
Mm.
Um, and kind of like putting some tension in there. Like this movie doesn't have horror tension, but it's definitely a tense movie. It's a rubber banding tension. They even said, the main reason Bill Paxton was cast was his lighthearted side and his humor that he was able to bring out was for the audience. It was that tension release that he's able to bring in his
Well,
performance there.
Bill Paxton is pretty much just like the most relatable character I've ever seen in a movie like this. Like that would be me immediately. We're like, game over, man. We're done. We're done. Fuck this. We're out. Like
Dude,
zombie
but
said,
I
like that's
love that like
immediately.
when it's time to actually get into it, like he's still a badass, but he's gonna
Yeah, yeah.
complain about it, and he's not going to be shy about the fact that he is terrified of dying because it's probably gonna happen. I mean,
It
it
does happen.
it does happen.
Yeah, yeah. But still, just like what a great little like character piece. Like that could have been a nothing role, just a random grunt that you see. But like with Bill Paxton, the way he plays Panic is so fucking fun.
I think that they created like individual and fun characters for all the Marines actually. Like he definitely like I think was my favorite one to watch, but like I don't know, Vasquez has some good jokes. She's the hardened female action hero and stuff
She's got the
like
All right,
big
and
do
gun. She's got the big gun too that she's walking around with.
she has the best line in the movie where it's just like, "Hey, like have you ever been mistaken for a man? No, have you?"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just
Amazing.
incredible.
10
Yeah.
out of 10 if for that alone.
No, it's so fucking like this is just a sign of the times, but Jeanette Goldstein's like a white woman. She's like playing this like Latino person throughout the
They
movie.
put
Oh,
con
is
they
she
put
really? That's
contacts
crazy
in they
actually.
put the contacts in her eyes to
Oh,
make
she has
them.
blue eyes or something normally?
Uh, Davey, have you seen Terminator 2?
Yeah.
All right, you remember John Connor's stepmom in Terminator 2? The one that like
Uh
kills that like asks about Wolfie, like the dog. Like how's
I
Wolfie in
saw
this?
this a long time ago. I don't really remember
Okay,
very
okay.
well.
Well, she's in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to
So
rewatch, I think.
the yeah, foster parents are dead. That scene. That's her. Bayonets.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but regardless, all right. So, anyways, uh, Paul Reiser, what a great like little slime bag. I like how like they like don't immediately like play as a cold cards that he's like a swarmy businessman, but it slowly like reveals over and over. There's some parts of the movie where he's still supporting Sigourney Weaver, like where he tells what's his name, Gorman, like Gorman, you're out of line, like you're done, right here. But it's still then Paul Reiser at the end of the day is just like. Yeah, like this is delusional. He's like gaslighting everyone. He's just being like a fucking smarmy prick. Great 80s thing right there.
Yeah, I feel like we need more of that 80s and 90s sleazeball in today's comedies, action films, etc. Because I
Yeah,
I really enjoyed how he played that,
where's the swarmy businessman of like every fucking movie?
I feel
Yeah.
like businessmen have taken over Hollywood too much that they do not want to be depicted that way in movies.
Okay.
Like
I like
there's too
that
many
theory.
accountants running Hollywood right now that they do not want themselves depicted that way, even though that's exactly how they are.
Dude, what if it literally
They
was like,
still,
what is that supposed to be me? Come on. Like
Come on, I'm not
that
that
just
bad.
happened.
Uh.
Yeah.
I think we still have it
They just
occasionally,
see
but
themselves in it so much that they like take
That they
budget
can't do
away.
it. And it's a great fake out because the android in the original Alien was the one that betrays Sigourney Weaver. And then we get Bishop, the android in this one, and he's super loyal. Like I love the line of just like, oh, that model? Oh yeah, no, no, we rusted out those kinks a while ago. Like I am fully obedient, I am fully whatever, like I'm good to go. Um, and trying to use that, it's like a great like fake out there.
mm,
And I feel like a lot of it is Paul Reiser's performance that is allows it to hide that swarminess. Because that the scene that I mentioned before, where it's is the first time we really get the sense it's that one, and when it's the scene where he's fighting when they're like, we have to nuke this planet. And
mm.
he's like, no, this is a big investment for the company. We cannot
Yeah, yeah,
nuke
he
this,
scares.
nuke this. There's millions of dollars. It's like, are you out of your mind? Like, there's no
Well,
fixing this.
there's
That
also
that's
just one great thing about this movie in general is that like throughout the movie, like you're given it through like the woman perspective, like Sigourney Weaver's perspective, where like this movie would be different if it was like a guy in the lead. If we had like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the lead, then like everyone would be like, all right, I guess we're listening to him. But like because it's Sigourney Weaver, because it's a woman, like you have the people downing her over and over again, which is why it's great with the Michael Biehn relationship, where like that scene you're just talking about, where Sigourney Weaver says, "I think we should nuke it from orbit, leave right now." And Paul Reiser has that whole spiel, like fucking complains, 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 and then she says, "I think that Hicks is actually the leading commander here because it's military operation." What he thinks, he just says immediately what she said, and just looks there. It's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
great, and it's in one way of just like the bullshit that women have to deal with over and over again. That's,
Yeah, I think that that was like a big theme that they doubled down on with this one. Like, did we really see such a full-fledged like female action hero in a blockbuster like this before? Like, I don't
Not
know.
in.
I haven't earlier than this anyway.
it was not
I
that
mean,
common.
Terminator with Sarah Connor, but it that was the original Terminator is not a big budget
Yeah,
blockbuster. It was a movie. It was a Corman production. It was sometimes they hit, sometimes they didn't, and
Yeah,
Terminator
yeah,
hit.
yeah.
You know,
you had like your occasional fucking like B movies. Like there's a Red Sonja movie, but that was like random
Well,
bullshit.
yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah. We've had B movies for a long time. I feel like
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
but I feel the fact also is that like Sigourney Weaver got nominated for an Academy Award for this movie, which is insane for like this genre. This almost never happens. Can you imagine today if like that would happen again if Sigourney Weaver or someone else? Like, I'm trying to think of the comparable thing if
the
like
comparable thing is Heath Ledger as the Joker.
yeah, I guess it's the closest one, but it's always insane when genre movies get the thing right there. And if I remember correctly, she lost like Marley Matlin. Was that movie Children of a Lesser God?
Mm. Yeah, because
To
it
have
was she had the deaf performance.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think that Sigourney Weaver rocks that this movie though. So it's a fantastic performance.
100%, dude.
Yeah, it's
so
like what
oh, go ahead.
one just one of the best like commanding performances you've seen out of like an actress.
I think it also makes the whole like I don't know, like her relationship with Newt definitely is like way different than if it was like a man in that role, you know, like the mother-daughter maternal instinct type of thing. I think was definitely a core theme to this that they couldn't have done with like a male action star or
Arnold.
yeah, yeah. I mean, actually, now
Imagine
that I'm thinking of it, like I feel like there are Arnold movies where he tries to like protect kids and stuff, but
Oh,
like
there's
I don't know, it
plenty
just
of.
hits
well,
different,
that's
dude.
Kindergarten Cop.
That's Kindergarten Cop. That's Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Commando. He's trying to rescue his daughter, which we need to cover Commando at some
Yeah,
point.
That would be a
Commando.
good one.
So even though like that movie's just death, 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 death. Like that's it.
I mean that one's kind of just like ultimate fun action, like
It's the like top tier base movie, which Aliens also is. So
So I wanted
okay.
to talk
we
about
watched
the
this in the basement actually once.
well, I wanted to talk about the first attempt, the first finding of the aliens, the first wave of attack there, and that scene because I feel like that's one of the great rewatchable scenes in this movie.
Mhm.
Um, for you, Ryan, like never seeing it before, what was your, and you had mentioned before, like how it changed your, like you had different expectations for what this movie was versus what it's
Yeah.
going to be. Like maybe this is a good time for you to explain that a little further, like how this
Yeah.
subverted your expectations. Because I feel like if there's a scene that really starts to do that, it is that scene.
100%. Yeah, and I feel like this is the first scene where you're kind of getting that inkling that like, oh, the tension buildup is about to start and it's about to be the horror tension. And you kind of get it for a second, but then it
Hmm.
immediately, almost immediately turns into action tension.
Mhm.
But it's like a darker version of it still. So it's like it's still something that you don't experience too much. Definitely not what I was expecting with the horror thing, but like it's almost like a hybridization of like it's definitely decidedly more action, but it's darker
Well,
than any like 80s action I'd seen before, like even
oh
darker
yeah,
than like Blade Runner and stuff,
Mhm.
which I think maybe has like the closest tone to this, but like
Yeah.
it was higher action than that as well. Like I would say
Significantly.
definitely
It's
more
a
fun.
Well, that whole scene too that you're talking about, like when they first discover it, it's just an amazing pressure cooker right there, where like it
Yeah.
immediately releases the tension. Where it's just like, all right, this is what we've been building up to for the first hour of this movie. You get in there, it's like, holy shit! All of a sudden, half the Marines that you like hear that are like all these badasses immediately die. It's
I
like,
mean,
all
I
right,
feel like the immediate release, like the real quick instant gratification was that, little jump scene where they realize, oh, one of them's still alive. And she's like, like,
Kill
and
and
it's
yeah.
just
just,
kill me.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Like
What'd
that's
she
the
say?
build
She
up to
said,
it.
kill
Yeah,
me. Wow.
kill me. Starts shaking.
Yeah.
And
So
then the little
And then you
alien
get this
pops out, little
crescendo of
callback.
just like different alien attacks, action, craziness, half the cast dying, like,
mm.
I feel like the special effects in this movie have aged so well too. Like I would even argue better than T1 or T2 where T2 is that really primal. Like it still looks good, but it's really primal CGI.
I think
And
I
Yeah,
think they
yeah.
were trying to do like way more with T2. Like I feel like he probably viewed special
Well,
effects innovations as like a little train set for him to like play
to be
with,
fair,
but
also Aliens is all practical effects right there. Like the alien queen is like a puppet that was like handled by I don't know, so like 6 or 8 people or something like that.
oh,
Each
that's so
one just like
cool.
controlling it and stuff like that, and it looks incredible on the screen.
yeah, and
It
even
was
the
Brian
aliens
Henson. No, I'm
I mean, it seemed like it would be like of that like standard.
yeah.
of that ilk. I mean, but even like the sci-fi sets, like it doesn't try to do the like Empire Strike Back thing where,
That's
which is obviously going to be another influence on this kind of
Well, it's one of
James
the best
Cameron.
things about this franchise, like Alien in general, because the first Alien has incredible sets too, where it's just building that up and again and again. And this is such a great sequel because it delivers like the thing you saw before, but like a completely new way. You're like, oh my God.
The
Yeah,
Queen, yeah, the Queen looks crazy, so
but
scary and
even the
Even
stuff.
the face
regular,
hugger.
even the face hugger, even the regular aliens, just like that classic design of the creature, just they're rarely on the in the frame for too long until we get to the mother alien, which is like this great release, but it's just like the tail or just the head just kind of like bursting forward and like the release of the mouth and like the way that movement is with those vicious teeth and the drool just coming down. It's such like incredible effects and like it really sucked me in. It's one of those things where I we've talked to Tommy and I have talked about this ad nauseum, but like practical effects, man. Oh, bring them back. They look so good. They look so
They they
good.
they hit so much. And what's insane about this movie is like how tumultuous the production was. Apparently, the crew just hated James Cameron. It was like because
Really?
this was filmed in
That's
London. This is filmed
yeah.
in London. It makes sense because Cameron, I imagine, could be like a very domineering person. But all the crew worked on the original Alien. And they're like, oh, we miss Ridley Scott, but they're dismissive and like, oh, who's this hot shot that thinks he has all this fucking shit? And like the cinematographer rebelled by like James Cameron was like, all right, I want you to shoot the alien hive like darkly. And the guy was like, no, I'm going to shoot fucking brightly. Like, what are you talking about? And then they fire the fucking cinematographers, all these things, and all, like a strike happened where they almost quit the set, the whole crew, because they were just sick of Cameron shit. It was insane. The fact that this ended up being like as incredible as it is, despite all this shit, is
Well, Cameron
wild.
being tumultuous on set is not
It's
uncommon.
par
I
for the
feel
course, right?
most
Yeah, yeah,
people, I'm pretty sure most people that have worked with James Cameron would call him a bastard
yeah.
easily. Um, I there was even I was watching some behind the scenes stuff and oh who played the female Jeanette Goldstein, she was talking about Cameron. She was like, "Oh, I love that miserable bastard." Like that's how she described it. Like, "Thank you, you miserable bastard, for casting me in this movie," because this was her first role, her first appearance in a movie. But
Well,
Oh,
I
that's awesome.
one thing I love about the early Camerons is that like his like pretty much like company rotation. Like you had Michael Biehn always popping up. You always had like Lance Henriksen and like Bill Paxton and also Jeanette Goldstein. The movie Near Dark is incredible because it's basically like the Cameron company players in a vampire movie directed by Catherine Bigelow. We need to cover that at one point. It rocks.
That sounds amazing. What is that called again?
Near Dark.
Near Dark. I need to watch that. That
So
sounds
it's
That does
yeah,
sound good.
it's
I'm sold.
Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, and Jeanette Goldstein are vampires in like essentially the 1980s, like fucking Midwest, and they're just like going from town to town and like killing people and just roaming around, and they're all dressed up like fucking punk rockers. It's a great movie.
American neo-Western horror film. This sounds like it's gonna be my favorite horror movie ever. Aside from The Substance, probably, but
Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
that sounds awesome.
But regardless, yeah, the whole cast like over and over again, you see them and just like the chemistry they have in this movie and Aliens, just you can see it off the screen. It's just so much fun. The interplay you have between the Marines. So when one of them dies, you really feel it. You're like, oh shit, that guy just died. Like, oh, the stars just died. He was awesome. He had that one liner.
Yeah, literally, like I don't know. Yeah, Tim, you did mention that like none of the characters have real depth except for Sigourney Weaver, and I think that's true. But they do have like they're not just
Characteristics.
grunts. Like
Yeah,
they
no, they
have
all have
characteristics that,
characteristics.
They
and
make
they
yeah.
definitely like charmed me almost instantly with like just their dynamic and like the way that they're kind of shitting on each other and stuff with the funny one-liners. It was
Well, it's like
I
some of
don't
the
know. Like I missed
characters.
each and every one of them when they died.
Yeah, some of the characters like Vasquez is pretty much what Michelle Rodriguez would have played like fucking 10 years later. That's the Michelle Rodriguez like archetype right there.
Oh yeah.
Me not being a movie guy looking up Michelle Rodriguez. I don't know who
She's
that is.
Fast and the
She's Fast
Furious.
and the Furious.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude, she was in
Yeah,
Lost too.
She's in a
yeah,
bunch of
yeah.
stuff. She's been around for a while. Um, I know with Carrie Henn who played Newt, she was like some American either ambassador or businessman's daughter. Since they were filming this whole thing in London, they were having a really hard time casting this, and so the dad knew the connection, like made the connection there because all these actresses, like young female actresses, would come in like children and they would be like smiling and doing like their whole like TV commercial kind of thing and they're like, "All right, this person is has like post-traumatic stress and like hiding," and then this girl who was not a trained actor at all just kind of played it straight and they were like, "That's you, we're gonna cast you." And I feel like smart to make it like a girl with a lot of PTSD so you don't have to give her a lot of dialogue and you don't have to rely a lot on her acting ability there. It's like a great way to hide a child actor, yet making it a pivotal character in the movie by just
It's
making her silent.
incredible. Like just making her sound for a lot, and like even when she does talk, though, like her like little one-liners are great. I love the one scene where they're in like the hospital bed or something like that together, and they're talking. Sigourney Weaver and like Newt. They're talking, and she's like, let's look inside your doll. Is there like any like monster inside your doll, or like do they have any bad thoughts? I don't think so. And then she's like, Ripley, that's because that's made of plastic. She's like,
Dude, that was her Britishness coming out. The dry humor, like Ripley. Come on, like
yeah, I
I'm
know it's
11
like
years
that.
old here.
I'm not a dipshit. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
So
No, I was buying it though. I mean, like I don't know. I think she did a pretty good job,
she
like
did a good job.
for what she was given.
She apparently like became a school teacher.
Love
She
it.
just
Her friends would like apparently roast her in like high school, being they mostly come at night. They mostly where it's like, oh yeah, I think that band goes on at 9 o'clock. They mostly go on at 9 o'clock. Shit like that.
Wait, what? I what is that?
You
Was
remember
she in
the
that too or something?
no. Remember that like this line she said like they mostly come in
Oh
at
yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like playing on that.
That's a good ass band name though, to be fair.
imagine getting roasted for being in Aliens. Like that's such teenager thing. Like if we had a friend who was in like a big movie in high school and we're all 14
Oh
and
yeah.
insecure,
Oh, what are you gonna like?
we're making fun of them for being 9 years old in a movie. Like we're gonna be like, we're watching this every weekend. We're gonna torture you about this. Are you kidding?
What
Dude,
you're in the
apparently the kid who played Anakin Skywalker got
Oh,
bullied so
oh
badly,
yeah.
dude.
It's insane. I can imagine like around our age of like some if one of our friends was like in the Hunger Games or something like that. Like, oh, you're in the Hunger Games. Is that why you're such a skinny bitch? Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, Ron Howard had to write a letter to the New York Times calling out movie critics, being like, "This kid is 6 or 7 years old, and you're lambasting his performance." Are like, what happened to any degree of like decorum in this country? Like,
It's insane.
have some class. Yeah, no, he's I hope he's doing well now. He's Jake Lloyd.
Star
He's
Wars fans are never toxic, right?
no,
We all
it's
know
the
that.
No,
least
no, no, no.
least
I'm joking.
toxic
I'm joking.
the
We're the
least
most
toxic fan.
welcoming group of fans you'll ever find, dude.
As long as you're a white male, Star Wars fans are very, very accustomed to it. Anything
Jeez.
else, definitely not. But
Dude,
Jeez.
yeah, I heard they were mad about like, oh, the Jedi is black, like in the Acolyte. Like, what? That's crazy. That's
It's
insane,
insane.
dude.
It's
I
Mace
just
everybody.
Windu, bro.
that's Samuel L. Jackson though. Obviously, he gets a pass, but they don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wanted to talk about those little the escape from the facility where Newt gets lost and Ridley goes down to save her.
Oh,
Um,
Yeah.
it's such a great like moment of tension right there.
yeah.
They rack it up over and over and over again because it's like almost like you can see like where Metroid like pretty much like
Oh,
took like
yes.
Oh
I wanted to mention that too.
shit.
There's so
yeah
much Metroid in this too.
yeah
I
there's
did
so Metroid.
not think of that. Oh my
Like literally,
God, dude.
I mean, like Alien franchise in general, but especially like that one scene, like that seems like a scene of like you're going into like the boss battle before like Metroid, and you're
Dude, and
just
the
seeing all the
suit,
shit.
like,
The suit
Yeah, yeah,
Ripley
oh my
and
God.
Ridley, like
and
it's
and immediately like the sound design right there. This is such a well designed movie in terms of sound. You're just holy shit right there. You can see Samus like walking down to like fight Ripley, ironically enough.
I'm sure there's some terrible looking AI video of Samus
Yeah.
in the sequence in there, but
Boo.
we don't need to talk about that. But that's when we're in, like, I love that she finally finds Newt and she's like trapped and she's covered and ripping all that stuff off, and then she just turns around and there's just pods everywhere of the alien eggs,
Everywhere.
and
Yeah.
it's one of those, oh my God.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
also think it's interesting because I was sitting there going like, okay, we're coming up to the end. And no, like there was like four times where you just felt like we're coming up to the end of the movie here, and it just continually raises the stakes of the movie, and it does it so well.
it's
You
not
know
like a
what? Maybe that's the horror influence there because horror is, like masterful build-ups, and
mm,
I feel
Hmm.
like, yeah, you're totally right there. Like a normal action movie wouldn't have been able to do that and still satisfy the
And,
audience, I think.
and because this movie's long, like I put it on and I saw it was like 220, and I was like, oh wow, this is longer than I remember it being. And I didn't feel its length at all, but like in the hands of a lesser director, this movie is 110 minutes. This is an hour 50, and they're cutting out like the Alien Queen
everything.
sequence. Yeah, like all of these like
They would cut out the scenes between Newt and Ripley, just them talking over and over again. We're just like, all right, like go to the next
eh,
thing and stuff like that.
and it
I
makes
hope
it
they wouldn't cut out those. Those are like the coolest scenes. Like those are key to it. But like I think it's too long,
I can see I
obviously.
can see I can see a studio note being like can you take out like the Ripley talking to like Newt right there? Come on, it's dragging. But again, that's like what I was talking about with the extended cut. The extended cut, while it has good emotional scenes, there's a certain point where like, all right, like we don't need to be an hour and 20 until we see an alien. Like an hour is a perfect time to let that drop in.
yeah, I
And I
agree.
agree with that because we didn't even meet Newt in the first hour, Like
We meet her
I
right
think
at the
yeah,
at like the 50-minute mark.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've cut some of the beginning for sure. But like, I don't know. Don't cut the relationship between Ripley and Newt. That was key.
Mm.
No, but that's where we mentioned the alien mother there and that design, but that is when it just overwhelms the frame and overwhelms the screen, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, like because you still remember the alien design from the first one, and that's kind of what we get, but now you're seeing it on this whole nother level,
Mhm.
and it leads to that just great escape sequence with the elevator waiting for it to come, with the explosions going on behind it, and the timer too, Ripley has 15 minutes to get out of there.
Yep.
And then the great fake out of her coming up there, and the plane's no longer there, and she thinks the android betrayed her again. But nope, the ground was just getting a little too unstable there. I had to hover down and hope that she would make it out in time. I was like, there we go. There
I
we go,
also, I
Bishop.
don't know, like when I was thinking about that scene, I was kind of like, this is ultimate like maternal instinct kicking in because like
Hmm.
me,
Oh yeah.
everyone else, like I'm still thinking maybe this is a horror movie and Newt is dead, because realistically, that's what would have happened. She's either dead or impregnated with an alien that's going to kill her. But Ripley's still going back and taking that like very small chance that she's still,
Alive.
salvageable, and like it pays
Mhm.
off for her for sure, which is great. But I don't know, like it seemed like logic would have kind of dictated that she wouldn't do that. And like the Marines even in previous scenes were like, no, like we're not going back for them. They're definitely dead already, which that was probably true. But like Ripley's going back because she's got this emotional connection, and I thought that that was really cool.
And then and this is a true action movie through and through because up until the last minute of this movie, there is action because the Queen's stowed away in the on the drop ship
Oh,
as they get back to the main ship, and Ridley goes for the exosuit. Stay away from her, you bitch.
You
Which
bitch.
I
that
thought of Harry Potter. Not my daughter, you bitch. Probably another influence
Yeah.
there too in the Harry
right,
Potter
right, right,
franchise. Yeah.
right, right, right over my head.
I thought
Um,
there was a lot of like, I don't know, like that scene specifically was like dealing with like two maternal instinct feminine like
Well, exactly, because
creatures
like
going at each other.
you have the
And I
alien
noticed,
queen.
sorry, yeah, go
You
ahead, Tommy.
you have the alien queen who's like pissed off because all of her eggs just got destroyed. And you have Ripley who's pissed off because like she's trying to attack like her essentially surrogate daughter right there and going head to head. It's
Exactly.
awesome. Yeah.
Dude, but did you notice also like Ripley at one point, like the alien and Ripley are looking at each other, and the alien is also trying to be like, all right, like I don't want her to disrupt my eggs. She could definitely do it. And then right when she's at the exit, she starts flamethrowering the eggs. And then the
Mhm.
alien queen actually detaches her body from the part that's like
mhm.
delivering the eggs. So it's like, all right, like I'm not the mother anymore. I'm the bitch now.
I'm the Predator. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
And Ridley getting in that exosuit and that fight is just so awesome.
It's
Like,
so
That
cool.
and
that
you
get that get away from her, you bitch line always gives me goosebumps. I'm like, oh shit. Fuck yeah, let's
it's
go.
it's perfect. And then using the I love that this m movie I feel like really shows Ridley's strength with it, which is her intelligence. Like if her character has a superpower, it is her smarts. Like you said, like like when she's in the egg field, she walks away and is just like kind of eyeing the mother. And then at the end is like, "Oh, I'm burning these things down and does it
Hmm.
there instead of like instinctively like picking up Newt and going, all right, let's get into this and not like giving yourself an advantage there and using the airlock and blowing the alien out into space is just so, again, using your smarts in these life or death situations. And
It's
again,
a
where
fun callback again, where like in the original Alien, when you see the alien get like shuttled out of the lock thing, it looks ridiculous. In this one, it looks slightly better, but still a little ridiculous and still very like almost B movie ish.
I honestly, I don't know. All of the scenes of the actual aliens worked for me. The only one that didn't was like of their spaceship flying away, but I still kind of thought it was like charming in the Star Wars type of way.
I thought
Like the
that looked
actual
good.
creatures, I thought like looked great the whole time.
They look better than the
Oh
ones
no,
in the
exactly.
Alien sequels that are CG.
They look better than the creatures in the Marvel movies right now.
Well,
Yeah, literally,
that's a
it's insane
low
because
bar.
I know.
the low bar, but it's insane to think that like this movie looked perfect with like the amount of like alien like what puppets I imagine most of those were, and it just proves you don't need all the fucking CG shit over and over and over again.
No, it's
I
just
wonder that like now is it cheaper to do it all CG? Like they probably
It
have all
probably
these
is.
animators
I
on
can't be it
retainer for
can't it
Disney.
can't
Just
be. These
why do you
movies
think
are
that?
because these movies are $330 million movies. Like these
Well,
movies are $200
also
million budgets.
part of
I
the
mean,
problem is that
like,
they're not doing set design in terms of like real practical set design.
Yeah, because
When you
it's all
watch like
green
some
screen.
exactly, it's all green screen like fucking backgrounds. The fact that like, even like a Spider-Man movie decides, oh, instead of like shooting in any city, we're just gonna have like New York City be green screen. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah,
Come on.
they're filming it in Finland right now, I think, the new Spider-Man. And
is that
it's
right?
like, yeah, or
something like that. Like it's
It's
some
some European country.
not that
Oh,
that's
it
a
was
problem,
Scotland. It was Scotland.
but more so it's just like they're clearly mostly being filmed in fucking like green screens. It's like, come on, you can do better.
I honestly like I still this is so off topic, but I think that Spider-Man is the one Marvel franchise that has not disappointed me. Like I still fool with Marvel for just the Spider-Man movies. I know it was Sony for most of our lives, but like
Well, Spider-Man 1 and 2, like the ones we grew up with, are like peak cinema.
I would even say though that the newer trilogy
I like the
are
Tom
really
Holland
good.
one. The Andrew Garfield ones are not good. They are bad movies, I would argue.
They're amazing. The amazing.
The Amazing Spider-Man,
I
not
love
so
how
amazing.
while Tommy's gone, we could go on a little riff maybe. Yeah, I love how like in the most recent one they're like they explicitly say like, "No, dude, you are amazing."
Yeah, yeah. Listen. I have my problems with those. I actually think the first one, which one? Homecoming, I actually
Homecoming.
think is one of my favorite of the Marvel franchise. I love that it's just like a small little movie. I love the villain twist that it's his girlfriend's dad. You
Yeah, dude.
and it was like a genuine surprise. We didn't see that one coming. I thought that
That
was excellent, and
hunt
it just
yeah.
added to the stakes in the beginning of the third act there, where you're just like, oh
Like what?
yeah. I really like that one. Donald Glover's just in like two scenes randomly in that
I
movie.
I had my headphones on while you guys were like riffing or thing,
Oh,
and
okay,
like
sweet.
I had like a legit like fucking like almost like an immediate response. So, you know when you listen to a podcast and you know what the fucking hosts are talking about, but they're like, "Oh, what's that movie again? What's that?" It's like, "Come on, dude, it's fucking this." I literally had this where I wanted to yell at Timmy. It's Spider-Man Homecoming. It's Spider-Man Homecoming. That's the
Yeah.
movie you're thinking of, dude. But yeah, Spider-Man rocks.
Tone down a little bit, huh?
I
No,
can reel it in maybe a little bit.
To
reel it
like take
in.
it back to aliens though, like yes, great twist in Spider-Man. I feel like I was waiting for a big twist in Aliens, and I thought that the twist was going to describe essentially why the aliens allowed Newt to survive. Because I'm like, realistically, the aliens killed everyone else in the colony. They couldn't do away with this 11-year-old
I think
girl.
that
Like,
I think that she eventually would have been caught, but she was pretty much just like hiding in the tunnels and like, yeah, whatever.
and I
Eating
get they do show that she is like quite adept at like like being agile around those alien attacks like when she's in the grates and stuff in that one scene. But like I thought there was gonna be a big twist with hopefully her or I thought her, but there wasn't really a big twist at all in this.
Mhm.
Like to the definitely not to the same extent that there was in the first one.
Yeah.
No, the Paul Reiser was the twist in
Well,
the
but Paul
movie,
But
but
it's
Reiser, I feel
like
like
oh,
that was
like we know he's
telegraphed.
a scumbag. Like it's just we find out how big of a scumbag is he? Like is that a
yeah,
real twist? I don't
especially
know.
there's not really a twist in this, but it
It,
also doesn't need it. Like I feel like
no,
action movies are a genre that do not require twists in them.
You're
I mean
right.
occasionally they have to
Horror
when it's
movies
like
do though.
the partner
Yes.
you thought was on your side is actually the villain. You're like,
Yeah, but
oh,
those are like, whatever.
You think he's on your side? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like there were points at the beginning, like before they get to the planet, where I believed that he's on her side when they're like we're going
He
there to destroy these things,
he's
right?
definitely on her
That's the
side for
plan.
like 60% of the movie, and
until
then
she's like nuke it, and then he's like, wait, back it up.
back it
Yeah,
up.
yo, even there though, I'm kind of like, I don't know, nuking a planet sounds like a bad idea. So I'm like, I still buy this. Didn't when I stopped buying it was when Hudson was like, "Oh, well, I actually have orders from the company and from whatever Reisner's actual name was, like that we want to study these things." I was like, "Ah, it's
Carter
they're going
Burke.
at it again." I also love how the company is just called the company. They don't have a
Yeah,
specific
yeah.
name.
Sometimes the simplest is the best way to go.
Yep. And I think it makes it more applicable to, just this is every company. Every company would do this. This is capitalism.
In its truest form.
Yeah.
I am a star. I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
All right, who is the star of the show? Who gave the best performance here? Tommy, why don't you kick us off?
I mean, obviously Sigourney Weaver. I mean, I think that's like an open shut case for all of us. But I do want to touch upon someone we haven't like touched upon at all is William Hope. He played Gorman. He's the commanding officer
Oh,
of
he's
like
great.
everything. I think that like he sells the terror of what's happening when his whole team is getting taken out so great. Where like Cameron just shoots his face up really close, and you just like it seems like this is not what's happening. Like
I
what are you
love the
doing?
Xbox
And someone
360 headphones they have that's just like covering
yeah,
their mouth.
literally. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's like freaking out the whole time though. It's still like thinking like, oh, okay, like what's happening? Like, oh my God, like can you someone tell me what's happening right here? He
I mean,
just
he's
doesn't know.
us, like what we
Yeah,
would do
he's
in that
not.
situation.
Yeah, he's not ready for the situation at all. Like he only did the simulations. The classic thing in the movie, we're like, oh, this guy's gonna get fucked then.
Yeah, yeah.
Ryan, what about you?
I mean, it's Sigourney Weaver. Like, there's, I think the Marines in general, if we view them as one character, I loved their dynamic and they made me have so much fun. But obviously, like, none of them alone has any
A
type
lot of
of
them
depth.
are a lot of them are just archetypes, especially like the uh, Jeanette Goldstein character Vasquez, who it's just
Yeah,
it's stereotypical like bad woman, but she plays it so great. It's
she
amazing.
plays it
You'd love
so
to
good.
act
I feel
as.
like the one cringy line by her is like, she's like, only thing I need to know is where they are. And like, I
I
was just
love it.
kind of like, I don't really buy it. But then she delivered the whole like, no, have you? Right after that, I was like, all right, back in my good books.
Yeah, really. I love the way she dies, where she gets herself taken out by like kicking a fucking alien and then shooting the head. It's such a badass moment.
Well, I mean, like essentially sacrifices herself and stuff to, like save the rest of the squad. And I
Thirks
Yeah.
mean,
in the
ultimate
So
badassery
I,
right there.
I do want to mention it. I guess this would place the mention right here. There's a guy Rico Ross. He's Frost. He's one of the other black guy that dies like early on. At the time, this movie was shooting the same time as Full Metal Jacket, the Stanley Kubrick movie, and Rico Ross was offered either a part in Aliens or a part in Full Metal Jacket. So pretty much he was told that like Full Metal Jacket was probably gonna be 8 weeks, and Stanley Kubrick said it could go over more. So then he asked Stanley Kubrick if he'd do both. He said no, so he ended up picking Aliens. And apparently they're filmed at the same exact time. But by the time that Rico Ross picked this movie, Aliens, and by the time the Aliens came out, Full Metal Jacket was still filming because Kubrick just took that long. It's
I
just
mean,
such
for
a
work-life balance, maybe he made the right choice. I'm gonna say Full Metal Jacket is
it's a
maybe
good
my
movie.
favorite Vietnam. No, actually, Full Metal
I,
Jacket. I think that's one of the GOAT war movies of all time,
It
though.
is, it is, but it's insane. Just think of just how much like fast, like or slow rather, like Kubrick works, versus like immediately it's still going on over and
I
over.
mean, at that point, how
But
old is
as a
Kubrick? Is he like
He's
60 something?
50, 50s,
Okay,
he's probably his 50s at that point.
late
But
50s
fair.
also,
probably.
to be fair though, as an actor, you must love being a Kubrick movie. Where it's like, oh, I'm guaranteed employment for like two
Well,
years.
I think you love being in a Kubrick movie after the fact, and you can say I was in a Kubrick movie. I don't know if you love the experience while you're in a Kubrick movie, you know?
Yeah, I mean, is he a bastard like James Cameron?
He's
He
worse.
He probably is way worse, especially
Kubrick
at 50
was
something years old. Yeah.
Kubrick was a 100 take guy. He was one of those guys that make you do it over and over and over and
Until
over
it
and
was
Ugh.
over.
perfect. Um,
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver, obviously. I wanted to mention Michael Biehn here quick. I
Mm.
get why his career didn't take off. Just kind of like he's of
Oh, you
all
hate him in
these,
this?
I don't hate him in this, but of a very lively supporting cast, he just blends in the most, I feel like, as just like heroic dude, you know? Like I just didn't think he did anything that elevated him amongst his peers, where all the
Well,
Marines are
like,
kind of in their
because
own. Like, if the Marines are the company and Sigourney Weaver's the star of the movie, they all like he blends in so much to the point that
He's
if
the
he
most
died at the
cliche,
halfway
for
point, he's the
sure.
most cliche. If he dies at the halfway point, I don't know if I notice. I think it's
wow,
just kind of a
Yeah, all the
forgettable
other ones,
performances.
like,
I
that's
think it's just a
because,
forgettable performance.
well. Did you hate him in Terminator when we covered Terminator a
No,
couple years
I
ago?
didn't hate him, but I didn't love him. I don't
I
know.
thought he was good.
I just think he's a little bit of like
dude, he
I
was in
think I think he.
Tombstone. He was in a
he's
lot
Well,
of
no,
I
good
know
I
shit, but
I think
he had he had a solid career,
he's
but
yeah.
it could.
he's he's got a little bit of James Marsden syndrome, is what I call it, where it's like good
Okay,
performance,
yeah.
good performance, but like never anything where you go like, wow, that James Marsden, holy cow.
Well, also of all the characters, he's the one that has to play like the most like straight role. Where, like Bill Paxton gets to play like the flavor, where he used to be able to spice
Oh
up like
yeah, no,
freaking.
I know there could be a script
Um,
thing, but I feel like
and
he didn't really
Why haven't we
elevate
talked
that.
about Bill Paxton actually?
We
Like,
did
we
talk
did
about
we did we
we did
did
at the
no,
beginning
I
of
mean
it.
as a stealing the show type of
Oh,
situation.
he's my favorite
100%.
of the he's my favorite of the him and
Yeah,
Al
Agreed.
Matt. I think I love Al Matthews just because he reminds me
Oh,
so much.
another day at the corpse, another day on the farm. It's amazing. It's like, let's go.
so good, dude.
I
So
Yeah,
I
good.
yeah.
love him so
Oh,
much. He just reminds me of Sergeant Johnson from Halo. I know I mentioned that before, but I'm gonna mention it again.
literally, he
Just
was clearly inspired. But it's like so many things. There's so many just like great little like heat check performances and like great little characters that like this could easily. We definitely seen like the terrible B movie version of this, where it's just like a bunch of nameless grunts and they get killed. And like, however, that's cool, but what gives a shit? But the fact that they take that moment to have like at least like one or two things you can identify a character about. Even Lance Henriksen, who plays Bishop, I think even better than Ian Holm in the original, because Ian Holm in the original was a twist. He was an android. But Lance Henriksen, the way he looks, the way he just like even just like stares at people and stuff like that or talks, he just feels robotic. You could feel like he's
yes,
like not fully
Yes.
human.
Dude, he feels like Spock from the OG like 60s Star Trek
Leonard
and
Nimoy.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and that's kind of my point here is we kind of mentioned everybody else, and we just Michael Biehn is second build in this movie, and it's just and he's him and Bishop kind of survives. Bean's the only one that survives there, and I'm just like, I get James. I guess he was a really good drinking buddy of James Cameron or something, but I didn't.
no way.
I
Oh,
I didn't.
wow,
Is that
you are a
right?
bean hater.
I'm
This is
not
what
a
we're
Bean
finding out.
hater. I'm not a Bean hater. I just
It sounds
like
like you're a bean hater.
I'm just a little bit of like he was so much better in Tombstone than in this. Like you just milk toast. Like I forgot he was in this movie.
What?
Sorry.
I mean,
I
I think there's some good
that's a
scenes though.
big that's hater. You said
I
you
don't
weren't a
know
hater,
that
then you said milk toast, and you forgot that he was in the movie.
that that is total hater
Tim,
thing.
I
This
think
is
that's
we're
hate
gonna have
speech
to
right there. I'm
that's
reporting this whole podcast for
well,
we're
hate
you
gonna
are
speech.
in California. I think I literally have to go to jail if I enter the state of California.
All right. Well,
Now
you
we're gonna have
should
to put
still
up a
visit me
toll.
though.
We're gonna
I
pull
will
up on our
be. I will.
Twitter. We're gonna pull up on our Twitter. Do you think Michael Bean's milk toast and aliens? And I don't know. I think that like even the little minor line he has like right in the beginning, where they're walking through like the place where they all get taken out. He's at my shotgun for close range, bucks it up. It's like fuck yeah, let's go. But again, I can see that being like a little generic. So I don't know. I still
Dude,
like
Forgot.
I
I
think
didn't
we're
realize that was
forgetting
him.
that this is an action movie. Like I feel like they did so much more than they needed to, that they need him to be holding this down in like generic cool
I
badass.
I I
Like
he
he
plays it. He
needed
plays
to
it.
happen.
I listen, I watched the movie. This was
I
my
am.
take. This was my take.
Okay.
I had a Michael Bean take.
All
It's
right.
very
All right.
rare.
Okay.
It's very rare in the year of our Lord 2025 that there somebody out there even has a Michael Bean take. So I think that makes me more of a supporter than
Can I be
anybody
honest?
else in the world.
I think this
That's
might be the
fair.
most we've like disagreed on podcasts. Like I don't think we've had like another like 5 minute tangent about fucking Michael Bean. Let's go.
I
Aliens. This is the aliens episode. We're
This is
here.
the
We're for
aliens
the bean
episode.
takes.
Listen, you only get to do aliens once on the podcast, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
I think we also like I'm glad we mentioned Tombstone. We need to mention Tombstone every chance we get on the podcast as
Ugh.
well.
That was our 100th episode.
Was it? Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful movie.
Ah, are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka.
All right. Would aliens work as a Muppet adaptation? There's a lot of puppetry in the movie.
I could see it. Yeah, I've seen like the gif of like Kermit, like or something like that being alien.
We all have. I mean, I've already mentioned Brian Henson like
Yeah.
unprompted. Like I think it works so well. I think it would work so well as
All
a
right,
Muppet
so
adaptation.
what I'd say is you keep Sigourney Weaver as a human.
Oh,
What if you
And
keep all the
then
humans and all the aliens are just Muppets?
no,
I
that's
totally
one way.
disagree.
I
No,
I didn't
I
agree
think
with the
that
take. It just came to my brain and I spit it out. I'm going to be completely honest
Okay.
here.
I think that's a lazy way of doing it. And fuck your take, Timmy. We're gonna get hostile on this
I
podcast
just said fuck my take. I
because
don't need you to tell me to fuck my take.
because you went to the bean zone, and when you go to the bean zone, we get hostile. That's what we're finding out.
I didn't know there
He
was so much
flicks
love
the
for Michael
bean. He
Bean.
flicks
You
the
flick
bean,
you
dude.
He's a
flick
Come
the
bean
on, you
bean.
flicker.
don't
He's a
flick the
bean
bean.
flicker. BI. BI, okay? YouTube still monetizable, okay?
It's incredible. Yeah,
BI.
we're talking about the Michael Bean. We're not
Are
talking about
these on
the.
YouTube?
We just recently uploaded them.
Oh
We are
shit.
now on YouTube,
I've been
by the
listening
way.
on Spotify, but amazing.
Um,
Um,
but no. Was it just fucking arguing? Sorry.
I get it. I get it. You make all the Marines Muppets and you have
Yeah,
them
you
be the
make all the Marines
characters.
Muppets.
Okay.
They do like the like the guy who's like the news reporter. You make the old men on the like Al Pone is like one of the old guys or something like that.
Oh, I like that
Or
actually.
no, Ralph. Ralph would be one of the old guys.
The dog? What?
The Ralph would be Ralph. It's totally that.
I feel like
Yeah,
one of
he's
the
one.
old guys is I
Um,
feel like one of the old guys is Bishop would be good.
That'd be good. Yeah, I could see that.
dude, yeah, that would actually be sick because he'd have like asides to the camera and stuff. That would actually
Yeah,
be sick.
it
Dude,
would
yeah,
be.
I could see Rolf as like anyone on the like board of the company as well.
And then I feel like you
Yeah.
have Fozzie as Bill Paxton.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Who do
That'd be
we?
great.
I want Samuel Errol in this as well.
Okay. Samuel Errol. Would he be?
Sweetums. Sweetums is the alien queen.
Well, I feel like we keep the aliens,
What?
no?
Well, we make them more
I do.
Muppetized.
Well, yeah,
We
yeah.
definitely make them more Muppetized,
Like
but
they have like googly eyes on the top of their heads or something like that.
what's the dragon alien? He's like Doctor something. Oh shit.
Dr. Teeth?
No, 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 no.
Or is it a bunch of big
Uh,
birds?
Just a bunch of big birds. That'd actually be pretty funny.
oh,
Um,
Uncle Deadly. I was like Doctor some Uncle Deadly. You know who I'm talking about?
uh,
I'm thinking my Big Bird take is probably the best way to go for Muppets.
Okay. Yeah, Uncle Deadly is definitely a secondary or maybe
all
tertiary
right. Well,
Muppet for sure.
Seth Rogen, Sabrina Carpenter, hit us up. She's in Nashville today. I guess I got to go
Yeah.
pitch my Muppet idea to her for
Yeah, yeah,
Muppet
yeah.
Aliens remake. All right, review time. Give me a score
Dude,
to
wait.
five.
I need to derail this because I want to say I want every character to be a Muppet except for Newt, dude. Miss
That'd be
Piggy
fun
gets to
too.
be Sigourney Weaver, and
Oh,
Newt
and
is the
then
one
you have,
human.
but you have
And
Miss
Okay.
Piggy that's saying you're like, get away from her, you bitch.
yeah,
That's where
sick.
And
Mickey
then she
Mouse is.
karate
So,
she karate chops.
hi
Dude, I feel like, Muppets, it's made for kids. Like, if you have the one human being
Well, they
Newt, like
had
a child, it would be like, it would kind of put the kids into that mindset of like,
they
this
did
is
have an
me, you
alien
know?
parody on this Muppet Show once. I remember this. There was one sketch. It was like pigs in space, and one of them was like something came out of a guy's stomach or something like that. It was making fun of Alien, and Miss
Amazing.
Piggy's in that sketch. So,
Is she
uh,
Sigourney Weaver in the sketch?
I think she is.
There you
So
go.
right there, Disney, you own both properties. Do something with the Muppets. Make it alien based. You have a new Predator movie coming out. That's why we're covering aliens. Let's see the Muppet version of aliens.
Let's do it, baby. All right,
Right there.
take two. Review time. Give me a score to five. Tommy, go ahead.
5 stars. I rewatched this movie a ton. Really fun. It's like I said earlier in the beginning of the podcast, this is as good of an action movie as Alien is a horror movie. And it's just like the platonic ideal of a sci-fi action movie. James Cameron just really just like proved that like Terminator wasn't a fluke and went to go make on like an amazing sequel, one of the best sequels of all time. 5 stars, Alien rocks. Fuck yeah, glad we're doing it.
Mr. Davey.
I love, Tommy, that you're so enthused about this. I thought this was great. I'm not gonna give it 5 stars though. I would give it 4 stars though. Action, I always have like, I don't know, overcritical views of a lot of things about action movies, but this one I feel like broke enough new ground and was dark and a little hybrid with horror enough that I'm gonna say it was an excellent film for sure. So yeah, 4 stars.
It's definitely an excellent film. James Cameron's direction, you can really feel his influence, just his use of the camera, his use of the space, the way he creates that tension. Um, Fun action movie. I'm also 4 out of 5. I really, really, really like this movie. I don't think it's a 5 out of 5. Like I think Alien is a 5 out of 5. I
Agree.
think
I
this is
think
a
that
I think this is a 4 out of 5. I think this is an excellent action movie.
I
It's
think that
just,
they're a 1A, 1B for me.
and that's
What
very
does that
fair.
mean? I don't even know what that means, dude.
They both are tied for first place. But like for me
Okay.
personally, this is how I take with the franchise. If you told me on a random night, like any night of the week, like hey, like you want to watch Alien or Aliens, I think nine, like probably 8 out of 10 times I'm picking fucking Aliens. I love Alien, but there's something about this that is way more rewatchable and way more fun.
I
Like
agree with that. I feel like Alien is more special when you watch it more sparingly versus
mm,
infinitely rewatching it.
yeah,
Um,
agreed.
but I just think it's a perfectly crafted horror movie, and I think there's
I mean,
very,
don't get me
very
wrong,
few. I think
both
there's very, very few of them. And I think this is a
Aliens a
really,
five-star
really
movie too.
excellent. I think this is a really, really excellent action film. I think it doesn't it feels its length a little bit. I think it's a little bit long.
Yeah,
Probably
I mean, why did
my
like it's longer than Alien, and Alien is this like supremely tight horror film. Like, I don't know that they needed to add
I
30
think
I
that
more
they were
minutes of
able to
action. Like,
they were
I
able to cut out as much as like James Cameron Eagle would allow. But still, still think it hits.
it's a fun watch.
It hits for
It's a
sure.
hit.
Yeah,
It's a we're giving this a 4 out of 5. We're not complaining
yeah,
about
yeah,
this movie
Yeah.
exactly,
at all.
exactly. Yeah.
We just
But
have to.
is Alien more of a fun watch? I feel like with your friends watching a horror movie, like maybe a drink or two in the system, I don't know.
Oh, I
That
mean,
could be more fun too.
we literally have watched Aliens in the basement before. We're like that was like we
That was
had
the
like
first
five or
time I
six of
watched
us.
it.
Have you watched
Oh yeah,
Alien in the basement? That's the
No, because
question.
Dowling won't allow it.
Oh
no,
yeah.
he would if we watch Aliens, he could watch Alien.
But he's not
But
a horror guy at all.
You tell him it's a
I
sci-fi and not a horror. I feel like he would allow it. I'm sure he
I've watched
would.
Scream in the basement of him. He'd be fine if Alien. Dallin, come in. You're coming in next week, so that's a preview for next week's episode. We'll talk about it
Yeah.
in a second.
So we'll talk about that in a sec. Mr. Davey, thank you so much for joining us here. Curse of Tongues, can you tell people where they can find you on Instagram, on any socials that you care to share?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I am at Curse of Tongues, no spaces or underscores on everything except for Twitter, in which Curse of Tongues already exists, and it's some guy that posted one like porn video in 2014, but it's Curse of underscore tongues on Twitter. So, um, yeah, that's me. I made the damn theme song for this. So if you like that, give me a follow. And
Any upcoming projects you have coming up?
yeah, I'm gonna be releasing a good bit of bass music that's like well outside the scope of my normal project pretty soon. Got a nothing else that I could talk about actually. But yeah,
Okay. So
more
the
stuff on the horizon
projects
for
coming
sure.
up on the horizon. Give them a
Yeah.
follow. Tommy, any final thoughts before we wrap up this episode?
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. You can find us at Seen It Pod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And also you can find us on Blue Sky. That's podseenit.bluesky.social. And leave us a 5-star review. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Helps us out, helps us grow the show. So this month of November, we're making this action month. I think we talked about this a little bit before. So we have a couple bangers coming up. So Aliens kicked off Action Month for us. Is a great easy transition to horror from Horror Month. So we start off Aliens. Next week we're having Connor Dowling on, our longtime guest. He's been on a bunch to cover the the Schwarzenegger movie, The Running Man. The new one's coming out for Edgar Wright. I think we gotta cover the original. It's a
Hmm.
fucking blast. So get ready for it. And then after that, Rambo First Blood. We're gonna be covering it. Never seen it before. Get ready for that too. So we're covering Arnie and Stallone, and we covered Aliens. Get ready. Action Month is gonna be fucking awesome here. So right here.
Yes. Thank you all so much for listening today. We will see you next time.